A few weeks back, we did a video where we reviewed some issues that we've been having with some products that we got from Hansshow Auto. If you don't know, Hansshow Auto is a huge manufacturer of some pretty awesome Tesla modification parts. They make things like the automated frunk opening system, yoke steering wheels. We even replaced our entire dashboard with a carbon fiber one that was made by Hansshow. Well, Hansshow reached out to me and they asked for us to give them a second chance. And well, we've got a new frunk kit. Hansshow sent me the latest version of the frunk kit to help with the problems that we've been having with our current frunk kit. We're gonna check it out. We're gonna do a complete new install, but we are gonna do it the right way. That's right, we've enlisted the help of the EV mechanic, the EV pro, and the EV modification expert, Joe, over at Evolution Autosports, so we could just remove altogether the element of, well, did Chris just screw up the install? This is gonna be done by professionals, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we have a big road trip coming up where we will be driving down the entire East Coast from Philadelphia all the way down to Walt Disney World. And well, we're gonna have a lot of stops at superchargers along the way. So we wanna meet you guys. Come out, a rare chance actually to meet the entire LockettTech family. And we're gonna hook some people up with some giveaways, some extra little accessories that we've collected over our time. If you come find us at the superchargers, we're gonna be hitting along our route. Follow us on our social medias. I'm gonna go ahead, we'll put them all right there. When we're about an hour or so away from a supercharger, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna post on Instagram and I'm gonna post on Twitter where our next supercharger stop is gonna be. We can meet you guys there. Go ahead, charge up your car. We'll be charging up ours. We would love to meet you. Come and meet us, but you're gonna have to make sure to follow us on social media because that's where we're gonna let you know. Come and hang out with us. So let's not waste any more time. Let's head right over there. Joe and his team are gonna be working on our Tesla today. They've got it inside, they're prepping it, they're getting it ready, and we're gonna go check this out and show you guys kind of the right way to do it. Bear in mind, it is a replacement, so some of the parts that you may see being replaced aren't the original Tesla ones that were in there. And like I said, we have completely removed the element of me just screwing up the install and not doing it properly. That's why we're here with professionals. If you want to get any of the Hansshow products installed or any modification product installed properly, consult a professional like Joe and his team at Evolution Autosports. So a quick tour of your parts here. These are the struts themselves that are gonna make everything go up and down. These are all your wiring harnesses. That is the latch mechanism. So that's your strut mounting bracket. I don't even know what this is. I don't remember this in the first one.
That's actually the optional speaker. So
there's a speaker?
Yeah, it's a tiny speaker that makes a small sound when you open it.
All right, so apparently there's a speaker now for the automatic frunk opening kit. And then that's just part of the whole latch assembly here that's gonna connect in there. Some upgraded parts from the last time. Our original video, which I'll go ahead and I'll put a link right here for you guys, will show all the detailed steps of it all. So we're just gonna kind of recap some of the stuff. Obviously steps number 1 and 2 is you gotta clear out the whole frunk area. You gotta pull off the cover for the air filter right here. Just pulls right off. There's just a bunch of little clips in here. And then the frunk base itself just has a couple little bolts that you have to undo in the corners here, 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 here. And then the front emergency button that will automatically release the frunk, you want to go ahead and disconnect that as well. There's just some clips right up here. It just pops out. And then the whole bin just pops right on out. And there you go. There's your frunk. And in the event you didn't see that original install, after you're done watching that video, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below as well. We are on a mission to get to 10,000 subscribers. Maybe consider subscribing, that way you don't miss any of these great videos we're putting out. So you can see our current kit is right down here. So these are all the wires. That's the latch mechanism right here. These are the wire splices into the system. All right, so the first rule here, no making fun of the terrible job I'm sure I did installing this, all right? Let's keep the jokes to a minimum here.
There's always a learning curve.
So one thing we definitely noticed already is the motor itself is different. So the original one is like a plastic housing around it that's, you know, I mean, it's just plastic. Whereas the new one, it's like all metal. It's definitely better built, and looks like it'll hold up to more damage and abuse. The bracket has been completely updated. So here's the old one right here. Here's the new one. Much beefier.
Another nice thing they did here is they actually glued on this spacer washer, as opposed to previously it was just free floating. So trying to install it in the car down in that crevice, and where the bottom of the strut sits, is very a little tricky trying to have it free floating. So it's really nice that they did this. This is a really nice touch for install. So the way the new bracket works is it sits down all the way in the bottom against the wall in the corner, and these little tabs here index with each of the faces along the frame of the wall. So what it's doing is it's sandwiching against this wall. It's sitting against the floor here and sandwiching against this wall again. So it's just really just sitting in there, and it's making contact on 3 sides. Whereas before, I think it was only making contact at 2 points. So this should be a lot more solid, a lot more sturdy.
For stability purpose.
Exactly. It's covered on all sides. It's kind of just bracing itself all the way around, as opposed to maybe having a couple points.
Yeah.
It looks like a much better design.
Nice.
Another way to do this is to kind of prep this spring by popping it off a bit. Yeah, there we go. This is like a C-clamp spring that goes over the ball. And what this does is I'm kind of opening up the end of the C-clamp, so when I get it onto the ball, it'll just pop right on and clip itself in. This way I don't have to fight the tension of the C-clip spring and try and push it over onto the ball.
Nice tip. Who knew this video was going to include pro tips?
That's why you hire pros.
Right? Both struts have now been completely replaced. The brackets are good, and we are pretty solid. Everything's staying on. Pretty good so far. The next step is to replace the latch assembly. And then really once that's done, you can just start connecting everything. So this is a nice little pro tip. You just take a Sharpie and you outline where the latch assembly is supposed to sit. So that way when you take it off and you put the new one in, you're not starting from scratch trying to line everything all up. Now the Hansshow latch assembly actually sits over top of the original Tesla one. It works in tandem with it. And we did find a few differences in the new updated version compared to the existing one as well. You actually have to undo this spring here and release the tension of it, because the clip is actually gonna, for the new one, sits on this piece right here.
You want to see the difference between the new and the old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have slightly different geometries. It's the same ideas going on here, except if you notice the angle of the new one is slightly different than the angle for the pull here. I'm assuming it's for better leverage and a stronger pull and release.
On the other side of this assembly goes to the motor, and then there's another cable that comes out and it's got that yellow end on there. That's the emergency release. So if you're ever stuck somewhere and this is an opening or the battery dies or something, you can pull on that and it'll release this so you can at least get into the frunk. They had a little upgrade with this too. It's got a nice little cover on it. The original one is just the wire itself. That was the original that was in there.
It never happened.
Now this is the wire harness. It looks very intimidating because there's a ton of wires and a ton of connections coming off this. But the nice thing is a lot of it is just tap-ins. It's very easy to do. You just are looking for all the different connections throughout that you just have to disconnect from their original source, and they're just gonna tap in to one of these connections there. And again, if you wanna know which one goes where, you can watch the original video and it'll show you exactly where each one's gonna go. And then once you have everything connected into all the corresponding wires, really the last thing is to give it power and connect it to the 12-volt battery that's in there, and then you're good to go. And then you do have to ground it as well. And I think last time we just grounded it to an easy bolt over on the side of the frame. We just grounded it to there and it made it real easy. So all the connections are done, and now he's mounting the motor basically to the back of the bumper.
It's a little goofy. It's kind of a tricky install, but I think if you can swing it, it's the cleanest. It's out of the way, and it's never going to interfere with anything.
There's the motor, nice and tucked away. You can't even see it. You got some zip ties right there that's holding it nice up against the bumper, nice and tight, and that foam backing back there will prevent any rattling. Can we take a minute here to just appreciate the absolute meticulous wiring job I think I've ever seen, because this is just unbelievable. Here's the shot of what it looks like, right? And everything is in. All the wires are connected. Everything's good to go. I'm gonna put next to this shot what it looked like when the tub came out and my wiring job. The wire from that powered strut comes and is zip tied along the entire way, all nice and clean right here. This is where the main control CPU panel, the brain of it all, he mounted it right up here, right on top of this brace right here. The other nesting of wires that comes right to the motor housing and the latch assembly was all done and zip tied nice along the side here, right here. This is just impressive. Like, I mean, you might have a problem. Like, this is unbelievable. It looks amazing. Thank you.
I like to think it's a good problem to have. I try to be proud of my work and stand by it.
You should be. This is unbelievable. It was so meticulously done. You would never know that there's anything aftermarket hooked up in here. So this wire is still out. First of all, this wire is the one that's going to connect to the back of the emergency button. And she opens real nice. So the last part we have for this Frunk reinstallation is Hansshow also sent me one of their RGB lights that go inside the Frunk. This will illuminate the Frunk space at nighttime if you go into it, because there's no light right here.
Fucking just inside.
Okay, it's on the inside.
On the inside seal. So whenever you open it up, this whole thing will have a ring of light kind of projecting down in here, and the whole thing will be lit.
This is like an easy add-on to do afterwards, right? It's not a big deal if they already have it.
Absolutely. If you do the power front first, or say you've already done a power front, and you're like, oh man, I missed out on the lights. Not too late. Super easy to do afterwards.
So the light strip does require you to tap it into power. The one obviously with the fuse goes to the power, which you'll just connect right to the battery, same place you did as with the Frunk opening kit. And then the second one will go to the ground, which again, you can just send it right to the same bolt like what we did the first time right there.
Here we have the original plug and connector from the button and the lamp right here. Basically there's a jumper right here. We're gonna plug the original cable, the male end, into the female end of the new one. And once we reinstall the bucket back in here in the front, this male end will plug into the old part. So we'll just remember that for later.
Once you have it connected to your battery, you literally just put the Frunk basket back in, and then just make sure to feed the light back through along with the wire that you're gonna reconnect to the back of that button.
And the only thing to pay attention to is, so there's a light side and there's a non-light side. Make sure when you tuck it up into the gasket, you have this clear bit, and that's the light facing downwards. Otherwise, you're gonna be blasting light into darkness.
Yep. So with the excess that you have left, you can go ahead and just cut it. Then last but not least, just plug her right into the back of the emergency release button. Pop it back in place. And then you just slide your airbox cover back on, and you're good, you're all put back together. Oh yeah, there's the lights. And they were changing color. Now you can control the lights and the color and all that stuff through the app. And there we have it, a complete Frunk redo with the new version from Hansshow. Here's my phone with the app. She works! We have a fully functional working automatic Frunk opening kit. I will say, I did notice there was a lot of thoughtful improvements to a lot of the parts that were used. I'm gonna hold off on making my final judgment until we get proper time to test this thing. As of right now, we got a working Frunk that looks awesome. We'll see if it's gonna last for the long haul. Right. Thank you so much, Julian, for your help with this and undoing any of the mistakes that we found that I made originally.
No, not at all. I'm happy to have the opportunity to make things as good as they can be.
It is something that you can do yourself I would just make sure to follow the steps in that video. However, if you're a little nervous about it, come see a pro like Julian over here at Evolution Auto Sports. He can take care of it. This is what he does. He specializes in EV. We know our cars are different than a gas vehicle. Make sure you're going to somebody who knows how to treat them differently than a gas vehicle and understands how it all works. Julian has already installed several of these. He knows exactly how it works. So come and see a pro if you're at all nervous about it. And not just an automatic frunk opening. I mean, you guys do all this stuff, right?
Yeah, right now we got a Model S battery apart, so all kinds of fun things are happening.
Seriously, Evolution Auto Sports, I will put a link down to their website down below. Still works. Still works. Let's talk about this Hansshow situation, and especially the front. The new updated automatic front kit does legitimately work like a charm. Here's my thoughts on Hansshow. Hansshow is just like any other company that's out there, especially in the tech industry. If you want to get a product as soon as it comes out, whether you kind of realize it or not, you're always agreeing to kind of be part of the R&D process. Every company is subject to this, even the biggest companies out there, including like say Apple, for example. Can we say Bendgate? Apple changed the design of the phone. They thought that they did everything in R&D, and then all of a sudden they put it out and people discover, oh yeah, the phone could actually bend. So there's only so many details that they can iron out in small scale R&D. Handshow's no different to that. Now, there's two different ways that companies can handle that information once it does come out. A company can just literally just try to sell off the entire inventory that it got and then try to piece out and just make the money that they can. The second thing is a company could legitimately take it to heart and put more money back into the development based off of what they learn to continue to improve the product itself. Now, I can say firsthand, based off of all those improvements I saw to the parts and the pieces that are used in this latest version of the automatic frunk opening kit, Hansshow definitely falls into that second category. They are legitimately putting money back into the design of the product itself to improve it and legitimately make it a better product for you. I respect that. I think that that's a great thing to see. I will say this, one piece of kind of advice, Hansshow, if you're watching this, you're gonna have customers that just don't necessarily understand that, and they're gonna be upset and they're gonna be angry and they're gonna contact you. Having customer service, having good customer service to help people through that process, that's a big key element to it. And I think that that is an area that Hansshow could improve upon. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I truly think that Hansshow is a company that has really good intentions. I really do. And if you're not interested in being an early adopter, that's okay. I would hold off then a little bit when they first release a product, maybe give it a cycle or two, let them work some of that stuff out, and then get a later version of something. I do feel comfortable now recommending Hansshow to you guys and using Hansshow in my own vehicle. I would never recommend something to you guys that I wasn't willing to put into my own vehicle as well. That automatic frunk opening kit, it makes the frunk just so much more usable. I will have a link to not only the automatic frunk opening kit as well as that RGB light for the frunk. I'll have both of those items linked down below. Also, don't forget, if you do want to pick up that or anything from Hansshow, really, make sure to use our discount code LockettTech. It'll save you 15% off, and actually it will save you 15% off anything you want to buy from the Hansshow website. So not just the automatic front kit or the light, literally anything. If you want to buy a yoke, you want to pick up a carbon fiber dash, a lighting kit, anything. If you found this video helpful in making a decision on whether or not you want to buy some of their products, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Hit that button down below too. We are on a mission to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're getting so close. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna do a massive giveaway. It's gonna be awesome. So if you're not already subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe down below so you don't miss any of that fun. If you want to see the original install video we did on the Hansshow automatic frunk, go ahead and click that one right up there. And if you want to see the last video we did, go ahead and click that right down there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, we'll see you in another one real soon.